My forever inexperienced, immature, novel author Hiroyuki Itsuki will turn 92 at the end of this month. He writes 8 serials, including his column Nagaryuka Hibi, which he has been running without a break for nearly 50 years. He's currently exploring new forms of expression in Rakugo, and we spoke to him about his thoughts on literature. I'm not a fan of single-tracked writing. How's your health, Itsuki? With age, some things wear out, so I break them down a lot. But my eyes and ears are fine, and I read 6 newspapers. I now use a cane, but I still go to the bookstore every day. If I go by Yukusui, I'll buy a book that catches my eye for about 10,000 yen, laughs. In bookstores, you can find a row of Itsuki Hiroyuki selections, 4 volumes published so far, Tokyo Shoseki, billed as the author's first thematic collection of works, shown in the bottom right of the photo. Enjoy a diverse range of short stories, from the Naoki Prize-winning international mystery, Behold the Pale Horse, to the music novel Johnny Watching the Sea. Itsuki. As I was putting together the series, I realized that while every author has their own style, my problem is that I try my hand at all sorts of things and end up being all over the place. You certainly have many different sides to you, Itsuki. It seems like I'm not suited to the idea of sticking to one path. When I say single-minded, I sense a kind of xenophobic ideology that Japanese people should be pure, since I'm a drifter with several hometowns. I was born in Fukuoka and grew up on the Korean peninsula. I spent my time in Tokyo while attending university, working in a variety of jobs, including as a trade newspaper reporter, television writer, and lyricist. I made my debut as a writer in Kanazawa. You won the Shosetsu Gendai Newcomer Award at the age of 33 in 1966 for your novel Farewell Moscow Gang, set in the then Soviet Union. The previous year, you left Japan on the Baikal from Yokohama port and traveled via the Siberian Railway from Moscow to Northern Europe, which was the starting point for that. Itsuki. Overseas travel for Japanese people was only liberalized in 1964, so at the time, the overseas world was truly a wilderness, and traveling was an exciting experience. The protagonist of your early novel, A Young Man Heads for the Wilderness, was very cool, unintimidated even in a foreign country, and had confident relationships with foreign girls. Itsuki. That might almost be wishful thinking. Itsuki laughs. But perhaps your lack of tolerance for foreigners is due to growing up in a colony. Ever since I was a child, I played with Koreans, and the person who treated me like a nanny was Korean. In the summer of the year of Japan's defeat, after Soviet soldiers began to arrive, I worked as a houseboy in a Russian officer's barracks, speaking broken Russian. So when I went overseas, I felt like I was coming home. 2 writing breaks. You surprised the world by announcing your writing breaks in the early 1970s and the early 1980s. Itsuki. Miki Akira, the editor-in-chief of Shosetsu Gendai, told me, "You're a popular writer, aren't you? A popular writer can take a 3-year break and then come back, and there's no room for them." I defiantly replied, "I think you're right, so I'm going to apply for the New Writers Award again." "Thank you." Laughs. As a repatriate who lost everything after the war in a foreign territory, I always felt that people could survive even if they wiped everything out, and I had no anxiety. In fact, I had a strong desire to take on new challenges, so after my second writing break, I started again with Kingdom of the Wind, published in 1985, a novel about a non-settled population with Mount Nijo as its motif. It seemed like your style changed after that, but I also sensed that something remained unchanged underneath. There are many stories in which people are defeated by large organizations and powers that transcend the individual. Itsuki. There is a preconceived notion that ambitious work will not work out and will result in setbacks. In that respect, I think your repatriation experience was crucial. However, as author Haniya Yukio writes, isn't the underlying melancholy in Itsuki's works because he always holds on to ideals that are constantly frustrated? He used to be a night owl, but in his late 80s, he switched to being a morning person. I never thought I'd write a manuscript in the morning back then, but it turns out it works quite well, Itsuki says.